Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name's Mary. On my channel, I do reviews for Bath and Body Works and Victoria's Secret scents, and maybe I'll be getting into some other kinds of reviews and maybe some crafting tutorials and things like that. So I'm gonna just see where it goes. Today, I want to talk about Bath and Body Works apple scents. Yesterday, I talked about Victoria's Secret pink apple scents. They're sort of fall release that they always do, like an apple back to school scent. So today I want to talk about Sweater Weather, which came out with fall one, I think, recently, and kind of talk about this, what this smells like, and how this compares to other Bath and Body Works apple scents that were released this year or in past years. So I have a couple different scents that we're going to look at. So stay tuned for that, and please subscribe and like as well. Thank you. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna start with Sweater Weather. I haven't had this scent before. I've only been collecting Bath and Body Works for a couple years, and since I've been collecting, they haven't released this. So it isn't a new scent. It has come out before, and like apparently there's two different versions of Sweater Weather. And Bonnie from Queen of the Girl Geeks, she has like a video that she published recently about how there's like the two different versions. So you can check that out. So I'm not familiar with the other version, and I wasn't familiar with this version, but I kind of knew that there were the two different versions. I think the other version is more like for body care and it's more like herbal, and this one is like an apple scent. So yeah, I was new to this. And the first thing that I thought of when I smelled it was, how does this compare to Champagne Apple? I want to say the title correctly. Champagne Apple and Honey, not apples. Champagne Apple and Honey. Because I had this from previous years. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm going to start off, is talking about those two in comparison with each other, and then I have two other apple scents from Bath and Body Works I'm going to talk about. Okay, so Sweater Weather, there's the packaging, and the notes are Suncrisp Apple, Autumn Leaves, and Orchard Woods. So the packaging is pretty. It's kind of got like a plaid thing going on with some florals. And I just want to point out, this is more, I want to say this is like more of a unisex scent. So even though it comes in like the like women's line packaging, so like the men's shop has like the different kind of spray, I think this is more of a unisex scent, and I'll talk about that more as I compare the two different scents to each other, this and Champagne Apple. I'm going to use tester strips because, I don't know, yesterday I was just spraying on myself and there were a lot of scents going on. Okay. I did put this on though before I dropped my kids off at school, or camp, earlier today. So I was wearing it on myself just to kind of like remember how it smells on me. Okay, so it's very appley. It's just like, it's an apple. So it's bright, it's crisp. It's more greenish, I'd say. More like a green apple. So let's see. It says Suncrisp apple. That's not like a kind of apple. It just means a really juicy apple from the apple orchard. But yeah, I think it's got like a little bit more greenness to it. Yesterday I was talking about how the pink apples, some of them had like an abrasive opening. This one's not abrasive, but it's just very like bright and like fresh. And yeah, it's almost linear from like what I wore earlier today. Like I said, it's just kind of like appley all the way through. And except for like the very dry down, I don't get too much of like the other notes, Autumn Leaves and Orchard Woods. Maybe a little woodsiness in the dry down, and the Autumn Leaves, I think maybe that's just sort of like a fantasy, no way of saying that there's kind of like a fresh, I don't know, like Autumn Leaves smell like a crisp kind of ness to it, I guess. Yeah, So it's really like it's apple. Like it's just like a strong apple, but it's dry. It's not juicy like the pink ones were. It's not like super sweet and juicy. It's just like kind of like a dry, pure apple scent, is how I'm interpreting it. So now let's talk about how that compares to a champagne apple and honey. Okay, so here's champagne apple and honey. This is last year's packaging. So I don't use too much of it, but I like it. I have a lot of sprays, so I don't get through them that much. I just like shook that on myself. Okay, so the notes for this one are crisp apple, sparkling champagne, jasmine honey, and autumn woods. So this one is appley, but it's like a little less apple forward than Sweater Weather. And it's kind of just more like fruity and sweet. And maybe, yeah, it says there's jasmine honey in there. So I wouldn't say it's like floral, but there's maybe just like a touch of like a floralness to it. And obviously like much more feminine. So like I said, that Sweater Weather's kind of unisex, very dry apple. This one's sweet and a little more juicy, a little more fruity, and a little touch of florals. So they're both great. I like this one. I'd say like this is probably more like something I'd reach for because I do like sweet scents. But I do like both of them. But yeah, that's the main takeaway for those two is that the Sweater Weather is like a dry unisex apple, and this is like a sweet honeyed apple, which is like exactly what it's called. So it matches its name. There is another. I don't have this, but there's another Bath and Body Works men's scent. It was like one of the men's sort of like everyday luxuries. I can't remember if they called it that, but they came in like the black bottles and kind of like a different kind of spray. Um, that's called Rouge Rebel. I kind of want to try that one that also has an apple note in it. So if I get that one, I might do like a follow up video on that. Okay, so now I want to talk about these scents in relation to two other apple scents from Bath and Body Works. I have Winter Candy Apple and Pink Tie Dye. Those both have apple, and I also might briefly just talk about like the apple scent that came out last summer as well. Okay, so this is Pink Tie Dye. This came out winter SAS this past year, so 2024-2025, but it was like largely also available this past SAS, so it's not currently available, but it was sort of recently available, so you might still be able to find it around. So this one is Juicy Apple Water Lotus and Cotton Blossom, and you can tell from the packaging that this is marketed as like a summer scent, even though it came out in winter SAS, but they like launch a lot of summer scents in their winter SAS, which is interesting. The apple in this is more like the champagne apple and honey, like a sweeter apple. So yeah, this is very similar to champagne apple and honey. It has less of like that honeyed aspect to it. So it's sweet, but it's not like a honeyed sweetness. It's more just like an airy sweetness or something like that. So the cotton blossom water lotus, it's got like an aquatic, airy a sweetness to it with like a crisp, bright but sweet apple, and more like a red apple. So this one's really nice. I have to wear that one more. Okay. Now, I do not like this scent. So I know a lot of people love this, but winter candy apple. But I thought I should compare it, but not for me. Okay, so winter candy apple, like this comes out pretty much every year around Christmas. And then notes are red apples, winter rose petals, candied oranges, maple leaf, and fresh cinnamon. So there's a lot of other notes going on here. I keep I keep splashing myself in the face with the mist. Oh, by the way, I do my little testers with just like a cut up Bath and Body Works bag because it's, well, I don't have testers, but I can just repurpose the bag. Okay, so there's apple in this, but it's not like the main character. So like all those other scents, like apple was like the main thing that you smell right away, and this more just smells like a fruit punch kind of thing. It smells like a mulled fruit punch cider or something like that, where you've got like a cinnamony kind of spicy, warm. And it's not that it doesn't smell good. I don't like it for a body fragrance. To me, this smells like a room fragrance, like something maybe for a candle or something like that. So it's very spicy, the cinnamon, and once again, there's apple in it, but it's more like apple mixed with other fruits. So I wouldn't, even though it's called winter candy apple, I just feel like apple isn't that noticeable in this scent. Okay, and then I don't have this anymore, but there was the apple that came out last summer with lavender and musk. And I also kind of want to talk about musk compared to Book Loft because they're like very similar. Another video. So I don't have that anymore. I just kind of decluttered it. I sold it. I don't know. I just wasn't wearing it. It wasn't a bad scent. It's very like monolithic. It's very linear, and it was like a shampoo apple. So it was like bright. It was more like a green apple crisp, but it was almost like you were like putting on a body mist that smelled like an apple shampoo or something like that. So it was nice. I just wasn't reaching for it. Okay, so I'd say of these two, I more likely wear this because I do like sweet scents, but they're both nice. But if you're just kind of like looking at both of them, they're thinking they're both apple scents. Which one should I go for? Yeah, I would just sort of base it maybe on like whether you tend to like really sweet fragrances or maybe whether you tend to like more like unisex dry fragrances. So hopefully that was helpful to you all. And I'm posting a couple other videos coming up, one on coffee scents. So stay tuned for that. Thank you, and don't forget to like and subscribe.